Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are back again for another preview and predictions. This time we are talking about Impact Wrestling Sacrifice this Saturday, March 5th on Impact Plus. We're going to talk about I believe 8 or 9 match card on tap for Saturday, and I am here with the expert on Impact Wrestling, the co-host of Blunt Impact, co-host of Joints and Jabroni, and co-host of NX3, the true heel marijuana enthusiast himself, Chris G.
Oh yeah, ready to get into this card, even though we just had a pay-per-view basically like 2 weeks ago.
Like we were literally having that discussion before we started recording this, and it was just like, man, I wish they would stop piggybacking off of other shows pay-per-view weekends. They did this with No Surrender on the same weekend as Elimination Chamber. Okay, yeah, like that was a little much on the same exact day. But this is like Revolution weekend. It was one thing on January where Hard to Kill came the same week as goddamn freaking AEW event, AEW Battle of the Belts. It was the same week as Wrestle Kingdom. Now you got all of this. Now they just be an extra. What's up with your Impact?
There's no excuses. They want to get the rub, pal.
Want to get that big show rub, but we will see how that works out for them. I guess when the pay-per-view buys or Impact Plus subscriptions. I don't know how this works with
Views?
Impact.
I think views.
But I know how YouTube works. Remember to drop a thumbs up on this video. Share this video with your friends. Subscribe if you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Of course, if you are a part of our Patreon backers, True Hill Heat predictions, standings, you want to leave your comments or leave it on the Patreon post, giving your predictions for Impact Wrestling Sacrifice. These picks sounding like will keep you ahead. Will keep you in the middle of the pack so you can make that run. Don't be like drunk guy JJ and just forget about the Impact.
Please don't be like drunk guy JJ.
That's what we're here for. And we want to hear from all of you in the live chat, in the comments, if you're watching on demand, with your predictions for Sacrifice. What's your expectations? What do you think about this pay-per-view coming the same weekend as Revolution and Impact's kind of thing or habit of piggybacking of other shows? What do you think about that? And what do you think is going to be the match of the night as we go through it? Apparently they even had time for pre-show matches Saturday 7:30 p.m. on their YouTube channel. They have a special match they just announced on the recent episode of Impact on Access TV. Honor No More's Matt Taven and Mike Bennett will team up to verse Rich Swann and Willie Mack. This is all a part of the Honor No More versus Team Impact rivalry, spawning off of the big 10-man tag that happened at No Surrender. Who do you think wins here?
I think Rich Swann and Willie Mack take this one.
I mean, I don't know more. I guess can take some losses now, but I kind of seem, based on the booking that I've seen so far, it kind of seems that Vincent is designated to take the L's for Honor No More. So I think they are trying to at least build up the OGK. So I think the OGK gets the victory here. One graphic we didn't come up because I don't think they came up with it just yet, but also I believe that's also going to be on the pre-show or maybe on the main show. I don't know. Giselle Shaw is going to go one-on-one with Lady Frost. These two ladies have been feuding since Giselle Shaw debuted in Impact Wrestling and kind of tried to steal the spotlight from Lady Frost. She beat her in their first matchup, and now this is the rematch. Who do you think wins?
I think Lady Frost gets the win back.
I think they're building up Giselle Shaw. Actually, I think that she's gonna get the victory. I heard not so good things about her debut matchup, but I've seen good things from Giselle Shaw. Seeing her over in the UK for Rev Pro, she is very talented. So hopefully they have a better outing this time. But the main show, I know for sure this match will be there as it's going to be a battle of the behemoths, the battle of the beasts, the battle of the monsters. It's going to be Jonah going one-on-one with Perfect Creation Zero or O
One.
or one. There we go. Perfect Creation 1 PCO. Who do you think was this one? Jonah versus BCO. Big meaty men slapping meat. Huh?
Yeah, and it should be fun. This will be a sprint, not a marathon. I'm gonna say Jonah though. I think Jonah wins this.
Jonah has been picking up a lot of wins since his loss to Josh Alexander at Hard to Kill, which doubly doesn't make sense anymore. As much as it did the night he lost, it doesn't make even more sense now that Josh Alexander isn't with the company and Jonah's still here. I wish he was still undefeated. This would have been a lot more effective and a lot more anticipation into this one. But I think Jonah gets the victory. I think it's gonna be very different from all the other matches on the card. So that for uniqueness, this might be one that a lot of people want to see. We got a double question on this one, Chris. Who do you think is going to answer the champ challenge of Deanna Peraza for the ROH Women's Championship and the AAA Reina del Rey's Championship? Who do you think answers the challenge, and who do you think wins?
To be honest, I really don't know. I don't even want to put any thought into this. So for the sake of taking a shot in the dark and maybe getting right, maybe solely based on Ring of Honor's new employer, DMD makes her Impact debut and takes the Ring of Honor Championship from Deanna Purrazzo, and we finally get the dream match on Impact Wrestling Sacrifice. No way, we can't do that. DMD fights the next day.
I was about to say,
No, we
I
can't
hope
do
he, I
that.
hope he
We can't do that.
realizes.
We can't do it. I had to think about it. I was like, wait a minute, Revolution's the next day. That's not even possible. Um, I don't know. I'll go with somebody on the roster. Fuck, maybe Rosemary. Yeah, fuck it, Rosemary.
There you go. I haven't seen her in a few weeks. I hope everything's all right. I mean, I think I'll actually go with someone along those lines. Another member of Decay. I'll go with Havoc. Oh, I like seeing Havoc around, and her and Deanna Peraza. I've seen have a good match before. Maybe they can have it again, and I think she challenges for the ROH Women's Championship. I like that Lady Frost decided to be different and go for the Reina del Rey's.
Yeah, me too.
Next, we have another championship matchup as it's going to be Trey Miguel defending the X Division title against Jake Something. Jake Something became the number one contender, winning a four-way match at No Surrender. And he's kind of been like had a chip on his shoulder over the last couple of weeks, kind of feeling underestimated as the challenger. What do you think about this build up to this matchup, and who do you think wins?
I mean, I like the build up because it's sparking a little doubt in my mind, but at the same time, like Trey, I feel like he hasn't really had a legit run with the title yet. Like nothing's really solidified it, and I don't think they're gonna do Trey Miguel like that. So I think he's gonna retain.
I think Dre's low key had like a really good reign. Like he usually has one of the better matches on these Impact Plus specials. He picked up the big win back at Bound for Glory. He picked up a big win at Hard to Kill. So I think that if he is going to lose the title, it might not happen until the pay per view. I think this is going to be a close match, and maybe I think this a loss for Jake Something is going to lead to him turning heel because I feel like that's what they've been kind of teasing. They've been building up this matchup, and I don't think they're building it up for Jake Something to win. I think they're building it up for the aftermath of him losing, leading to a heel turn. We got another title match, Chris, as it's going to be the Impact World Knockouts titles. The Inspiration will defend against the Influence. These two teams have been feuding for a number of months because their matchup keeps getting delayed by COVID-related issues and protocols. They put in Caleb with a K in the middle of these two women. He's been kind of flirting at being like the manager or whatever he is, social media manager for the Inspiration, like he is for Tenille, and he hasn't liked how Madison's been treating him. He even caught Billy Kay, or excuse me, Jessica McKay, when she was about to fall on Impact on Access TV on the Go Home show. Who do you think wins here, Inspiration or Influence?
If you would have asked me this months ago, initially I went with the Influence, but I'm gonna have to go with the inspiration now, and I think Caleb is the reason why the inspiration retains.
Yeah, I think he's gonna align with them. Why not? It's something fresh. He's been with Tennille for a while. I think it's been a year, hasn't it? Been a year since he's been like
Maybe
with.
more. I
Yeah,
feel like maybe more.
it's been quite some time they've been together. Maybe to freshen things up, he can align with the inspiration there. They seem to have pretty good chemistry
Good
as well
chemistry.
from their
Yeah.
from their backstage segments. Now we got something a little different here. We got a grudge match as it's gonna be Eddie Edwards of Honor No More versus Rhino of Team Impact. Back at No Surrender was the 5-on-5 to determine if Honor No More would stay in Impact Wrestling. Eddie Edwards was on Team Impact, but he was attacked backstage and taken out of the matchup to be replaced by Willie Mack. Towards the end of the match, it looked like Rhino was about to get the win, setting up for the gore. But Eddie Edwards came down. They looked like he was going to help them give Maria the gore, but instead nailed Rhino with the kendo stick, helping Honor No More win. He had a great explanation last week on Impact on Access TV, basically saying how he was the only main Impact guy that never got a chance to face Kenny Omega for the Impact World Championship, and he was the only one that got a win over Kenny in like a 6-man tag team matchup and didn't get a shot or opportunity after that either. So that resentment led to him joining Honor No More. I love that as the reason, and now he versus the first member of Team Impact to kind of have issue with him, and there's the person he turned on directly. Who do you think wins, Rhino or Eddie Edwards?
I think Eddie Edwards gets the win here. Brings one home for Honor No More.
I think Eddie Edwards gets the victory as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Alicia Edwards turns on Impact next.
Possibly, possibly.
Instead of having problems at home, you might as well, you can't beat them. Join them. Join them. I'm just telling you, it just works. It'll work better for you. It'll work better for you, sweetheart. But here we are, another title match. It's going to be the Good Brothers defending the Impact World Tag Team titles against Violent by Design. These two teams had a line for the last couple of months, trying to take out all the rest of the teams competing for the tag team titles, like Willie Mack and Rich Swann, or Heath and Rhino. Then it was the Gorillas of Destiny and the Bullet Club. They fought against each other until the Good Brothers rejoined the Bullet Club when Jay White turned on the GOD, bringing back the original members of the Bullet Club. Violent by Design took offense to this, and now they get their opportunity that they've been working with the Good Brothers for all these months, and now they're enemies again. Who wins here, VBD or the Good Brothers?
If God didn't take the titles from these guys, I don't think Violent by Design does it. I'm going with the Good Brothers.
Yeah, and like based on the Go Home show, it seems like the Good Brothers and God, we're going to continue to see that feud in when God returns, because that's going to be like a while because they're in the New Japan Cup. But it is, I think you said, like the pay-per-view is like 6 weeks away, so it does make sense to kind of get this match out the way, and then maybe they can get back to God versus the Good Brothers at Rebellion. But yeah, I think the Good Brothers does win here to keep the momentum for the Bullet Club. But I think this should be an interesting matchup. I can't say Good Brothers produce good matchups or great matchups because they really don't. But I feel like after last month, this will at least be interesting, because that one was a very interesting ending with Jay White turning on God.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jay White, we got the Switchblade at Impact Wrestling Sacrifice, as he will go one-on-one with one of his former mentors and trainers, Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley was the kind of the ROH dad of Jay White when he went on excursion for the first time in ROH after training at the New Japan Dojo and coming from New Zealand. It was his first time in America. Alex Shelley was the guy that kind of showed him the way, and now he versus a completely different Jay White, a Jay White that sold out Madison Square Garden single-handedly, the first ever New Japan Grand Slam winner, the leader of the Bullet Club. Who wins, Switchblade or Shelly in his return?
I think it's Switchblade, but it's good to see Alex Shelley back.
Please, Impact. Please, I'm begging you. Give us Motor City Machine Guns. You never even did Motor City Machine Guns versus the Good Brothers, like 2-on-2. They were only in a 4-way tag. They never did the official tag team match. So you got that money matchup. And just having a Motor City Machine Gun. I felt like that was the last time the Impact tag team division felt hot, was when the Motor City Machine Guns reunited and came back. So I want to see them again in the Impact the Impact tag team division.
Yeah, they kind of need them. They need more actual tag teams.
They need depth in general in their tag
Yeah,
team division.
they do.
But yeah, I agree with you. Switchblade gets the victory here, keeping his momentum, keeping the Bullet Club's momentum. I don't know what they're gonna do with it at this point. Like, this is a great time that it would have been for you to re-sign Josh Alexander and him beat Moose, because Jay White is basically at the point where there's only so many guys he could just beat in singles matches. He's gonna have to go for the world title eventually here in Impact. So hopefully that's in the cards. I don't know. Next, we got a championship encounter. It's going to be Mickie James going one-on-one with Tasha Steelz for the Knockouts World Championship. These two ladies went one-on-one at No Surrender, with Mickie James picking up the victory. But in Tasha's mind, that came due to the outside interference of Mickie James' friend, Chelsea Green. Tasha Steelz defeated Chelsea Green to get another opportunity at the Knockouts Championship. But of course, that was due to outside interference from Savannah Evans. Mickie James wanted to get involved and help out her friend, but Chelsea Green made her promise that she wouldn't get involved in the match. So she just had to sit there and watch. But who wins here, Tasha or Mickie? Is this Tasha's time now? Question mark.
Well, I like the scenario you had last time with Chelsea Green coming out and turning on Mickie. So maybe that happens this time. I think it is Tasha's time. She fooled me once. Shame on you. Fooled me
Yeah,
twice. I
I
forgot the
don't know.
rest.
I just don't know, because it feels like they are setting up Mickie for a Knockouts Championship matchup with Chelsea Green. Like, they keep prolonging the matchup. They had the DQ where it didn't even really start in their first matchup. We get denied her being the number one contender here. Maybe they're saving it to tell a further story with her, with Mickie James not getting involved, that it leads to, Chelsea Green turning heel. I don't see it happening at Sacrifice. I see Mickie James getting the victory. Hopefully they just let these two ladies kind of just go and have a match. No Savannah Evans, no Chelsea Green. Let's see who the better woman is, so they can put on a really good matchup. So I hope that's the case, but I think Mickie James does take the victory here. But what do you see for Tasha after taking back-to-back losses to Mickie? How does she come back up? Does she eventually do become Knockouts champion? You say she is going to come here, but if she does lose to Mickie, how does she come back from that?
I think after that, maybe she'll get a tag team run with Savannah. Maybe go after the titles there. If she could become a tag team champion again, I mean, that's a step forward again after being knocked down. And then after that, you see where it goes. She got time. She's young. She'll be there for a while. So
True story. I think eventually she needs to win that title for sure.
yeah.
And speaking of titles, we got one more championship matchup, as it's going to be Moose defending the Impact World Championship against Heath. Why? Moose, I guess, was bragging about beating W. Morrissey on Impact Wrestling, and he said, he doesn't care about Honor no more. And he took offense to this because he cares so much about Impact. although he's been here for a cup of coffee, and Moose actually mentioned that. And he got injured, and Impact kept paying him. So he owes Impact a lot. So he's representing Impact, but he's not fighting against Otto no more, which is the whole point of representing Impact. He just feels that Moose is not a good representative of Impact. So he wants to be a representative of Impact. And no, I have not explained how Heath is getting a world title match. I have explained how we got to this matchup, and I still don't know how Heath is in a world title match, Chris.
I'm a little confused myself, but this is what we getting, and hopefully it doesn't disappoint.
Wow, how is it going to disappoint? I think the expectations are in the ground.
Well, well, that's a good thing then. I can't be disappointed.
I guess that's the bright side, and I guess that's why we are doing a watch along with UFC. So yeah, I have something to look forward to, because I'm sorry if this is the actual main event of this. For God's sakes, give Mickey and Tasha the main event. Like I don't know what other match you could give the main event besides them, but like it's like, yo, Moose, they have done no favors as champion. Like they had him feud with the W Morrissey and Matt Cardona. So this dude, like the only time he made event was Turning Point, and I barely remember that show now.
I definitely don't remember that show. Not right now. Ask me in a few hours.
After some sleep. Oh man, but yes, that is the entire card for Impact Wrestling Sacrifice. I was much more enthused with much of the card before we got to the main event, but yes, Moose is gonna win. So if you didn't get what we were saying, we are both saying that Moose is gonna win here, right? All right, so that brings us to a close on the Impact Wrestling Sacrifice card. Like I said before at the top of the show, if you're watching the premiere, let us know in the live chat your prediction for Impact Wrestling Sacrifice, what you think about the card, who do you think wins between Mickey and Tasha, why the hell is Heath in a world title match? Someone please explain that to me in the live chat, or if you're watching us on demand, in the comments down below. And of course, you could join us live on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I think Chris G will be here. Romeo, the gang will all be here to watch Impact Wrestling Sacrifice, as well as UFC 272. So you get back-to-back watch-alongs, because on Sunday night, we got our AEW Revolution watch-along. We're gonna start that at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, so we can get things going before the main show starts. And then Monday, we're going to have our roundtable review on AEW Revolution, but we're going to be talking all about AEW Revolution when it's the Daily Boys Revolution on True Hill Heat 165 with special guests Alex McCarthy and Sat E. Nyangi, a Wrestling Daily Boys reunion. Can't wait. True Hill Heat 165, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. And of course, you got our Revolution preview. If you're watching this before the pay-per-view, go over and watch that. That's already been done with the gang, giving you the predictions for AEW Revolution. And you can leave your prediction in the comments over there as well. But Chris G, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Truehill Chris G. And you can find me here every Tuesday night, NX3, where we cover NXT 2.0. Me, the three-time baby-making championess, and the good brother Romeo Anthony Colon. And every Thursday night, Blunt Impact Live after Impact Wrestling, which has dropped Blunt Impact number 72. Me and the three-time baby-making championess. And our co-host, Mary Jane. And the watch-along this week, the Sacrifice watch-along, I'll be there.
Nice. Love to hear it. And check out Blunt Impact number 72, where it's just Chris G and Mary Jane, even though he has to talk a lot, so he doesn't get to smoke his Mary Jane quite like he likes. But he did a fantastic job, nonetheless.
Thank you.
And you can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHealSP3, written work, sportskita.com, WrestleTalk.com, whole bunch of YouTube channels. I'm not about to get into all of that. I gave you all the plugs for the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, but you can follow the gang Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Hill Heat. And of course, patreon.com/True Hill Heat. Become a part of the True Hill Heat prediction standings and championship, where you can give your predictions for Impact Wrestling Sacrifice and get in the standings and move up and dethrone Romeo, who is the #1 seed. But that is all for our Impact Wrestling Sacrifice preview and predictions. I want to thank Chris G, as always, being the Impact Master of Ceremonies. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been Impact Wrestling Sacrifice preview and predictions. We are signing off until next time.